Hello and welcome to That's Football. Barcelona 3, Real Madrid 0, and much like the Premier League, La Liga is over before Christmas. How embarrassing. The two biggest leagues in the world and their leagues are over. Man City will be Premier League title winners and Barcelona will be La Liga winners before Christmas. I think that both leagues need to have a long hard look at how these clubs are being funded and financial fair play, because they're just going to become more and more less competitive. Maybe Barcelona less so, because Barcelona and Real Madrid, you know, two-horse race, but not this season. And what an interesting game it was. First half, Real Madrid totally dominant, pressed the life out of Barcelona, moved the ball around really well. It was almost like, is Messi even playing in this game? Barcelona, you were like, why are they top of the league? Very poor. And Real Madrid will be kicking themselves, because to go in 2-0 up would not have been a disservice to them, but they didn't really create that many clear chances in the final third whilst dominating the game. Ronaldo kicking at thin air on a cutback, offside goal, Benzema hitting the post, but they should have made that count. And the fear was, as with all football games, is that if in the second half you're not as good as the first half, or the team who was poor in the first half gets a kick up the backside at half time and comes out and plays well in the second half, 0-0 is 0-0. You don't get anything for playing better in the half if it's still 0-0. And Barcelona came out in the second half, and even in the first 5 minutes you could see they were getting hold of the ball, they were getting more adventurous in the final third, and lo and behold, they cut them open. Rakitic striding through the midfield on the break, and they found Suarez in a one-on-one, and he tucks it home, and it's 1-0. And from that point, you feel that it's going to be an uphill task for Real Madrid. They needed to win that game. Even a draw would more or less forfeit the league. So they had to win it, and then pretty soon after, they're 2-0 down. Now, personally, don't know what you think about it. I think if I'm Barcelona, I totally agree with the referee, and maybe by the letter of the law, he gets it right. A few chances, cleared off the line, and then I can't remember who it was who headed it, but Carvajal definitely handballs it and then knocks it into his own goal. Personally, for the good of the game, I would have liked to have just seen the goal stand and a yellow card and we play on 11 against 11. But I'm sure Barcelona and Barcelona fans would say, no, we won't take the goal. We want a penalty and we want him red carded. He stopped a goal. And by the letter of the law, the referee gets it right. I just think it killed the game. 2-0, Messi scores the penalty. Game over. Barcelona actually, Real Madrid still went for it. Asensio, Bale came on, and good chances, Bale missing from a cutback, good saves by ter Stegen, and then Barcelona with the sucker punch goal from Vidal right at the end to make it 3-0. It's academic. Madrid needed to win that game. A draw wasn't enough, and whether Barcelona won it 6-0 or 1-0, they had to go for it. They did go for it. They couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. The interesting contrast, which a lot of people will talk about, Ronaldo versus Messi. I don't think we learnt anything from today. I was very impressed with Ronaldo in the first half. I liked the way he was playing out on the left-hand side. I think he's become much more of a goal scorer than a winger these days. But actually, when he was out on that left-hand side, he was causing Barcelona problems, running down the wing. I thought he had a good first half. But as is the problem, when the goal went in against for Barcelona and things didn't go their way, Ramos with a petulant yellow card, Ronaldo, hands on hips, looking desolate and disappointed and petulant as ever. And Messi, you know, came to the forefront and won the game for Barcelona, conducted it really. And Barcelona and Messi obviously coming out on top. But Jared Pesman says, awesome game, can't wait for the Madrid meltdown. Madrid still stuck in 4th position, of course. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Great, cracking game to watch just before Christmas, El Clasico. Disappointing, yes. Much like the Premier League, it's very disappointing that a league is done by Christmas. Very disappointing. We've not even had the winter break in Spain, and that title's done and dusted. And the same in the Premier League. And the bigger picture behind that is disappointing for fans. But you know, a game of two halves is what I would describe it as. Both Ronaldo versus Messi, Barcelona versus Madrid. I thought Madrid were fantastic in the first half. I still think that Kroos, Casemiro, and Modric are the best midfield three in the world. I still think that Marcelo is the best left back in the world. I think Real Madrid have got a very good defence. The problem with Real Madrid is they didn't really buy anybody in the summer, and they desperately need to do something about Benzema, because his build-up play was poor today. His finishing is poor. You know, if they could get Harry Kane, you know, somebody like that. They need an out-and-out goal scorer who's very good at build-up play and holding the play up, and that's where Real Madrid are missing for me, is that Benzema was poor again today. Obviously, people like Bale are probably going to move on, but that's not really the problem for Madrid. They need to be more clinical in the final third, and Benzema let them down. From Barcelona's point of view, they seem to be going through an evolution again. Got some good young players coming through. Messi's obviously signed a long-term contract. They're going to win La Liga. They'll be competitive in the Champions League. The Champions League has basically become the area now where everyone's focused on. Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, Chelsea. You know, Premier League's dead. La Liga's dead, so the Champions League becomes the next big thing for most people. If you want a league to keep an eye on, the most competitive one at the moment is Serie A. But Real Madrid lose. I mean, I still think Real Madrid in that first half played very well, and if they can play like that in the second half of the season, especially in the Champions League, they could win 3 Champions Leagues in a row. People are saying, should Zidane be sacked? No. You can't sack somebody who's going for 3 Champions Leagues in a row, which is, you know, historical. So, but Real Madrid can. Real Madrid can do anything. And one thing I would say would be quite symbolic of all these rumours that Bale's going to leave Real Madrid. I think that miss at 2-0 from 5 yards out, as hard as it was, I think that will, you know, we know what Real Madrid fans are like. I don't think they'll be forgiving him anytime soon. Thanks everyone for watching. Nice to do a match reaction on a game that we did on the watch along. Give us your thoughts below. But really enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll speak to you all soon.